Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are diving into an essential concept in Spark that can significantly impact how you can analyze your data. So we are going to explore how the count function behaves differently when used with GroupBy and without GroupBy. So so if you have wondered how Spark handles these operations, let's get started. And today I will explain with a simple example to understand the behavior of cow in Spark. So here I already created a notebook for that. So it is a cluster. So here we need to create a cluster itself. This is my cluster name, and I'm using this runtime version. I'm trying to create a cluster. Okay, so already created, so I am attaching that cluster. So it is trying to connect and my cluster is attached, and I got the resources. I'm using this is of my cluster configurations. Currently I'm using database runtime 12.2 LDS and Spark 3.32 I'm using, and driver type node is 15.25 GB of RAM and 2 cores. This is are my cluster configurations. Currently, I'm using Databricks Community Edition for this one. So let's back to data frame creation for understand the count behavior. So here I'm creating data frame with the sample data. So I take this is a fruit ID and this is a fruit name. So I take the list of tuples. So this is a tuple, and so we have total 4 tuples. So we are making list by comma separated. So we are creating this is a we are assigning this list to a data variable. So this is next I'm creating a data frame. So here I'm importing a Spark session as a Spark, and we have a method called Spark create data frame. In this we are using these parameters. So what is the data of that for the data frame and schema, and we can mention other things also. For now I am using this data and schema, these things. So here schema I'm mentioning as fruit id and fruit. So let me run this one. So it will create a data frame. So it is created data frame. Let me see the data of my data frame. How we can see the data frame data? We can see by df.show, and also we can see by display of the data frame. Let me show that one also. Display of the data frame. So here we are clearly able to see, right, in a tabular format. So this is my schema, fruit ID and fruit name. So this is a fruit ID. I have total 4 records in my data frame. So let let's go to check how count without group by will behave. Right. So I'm calling this action count on my data frame, and I'm storing this df.count value in total counts variables, and I'm printing this variable value. So it will show the number of records count. Count action will show the number of records count. When we are using without group by, it is a action and it is showing the number of records count. And next we will go to the next scenario, how count will behave with group by. So so this is already we have a data frame. So I'm showing again the data frame for this scenario also. Yeah, this is the data frame with the fruit id and fruit. So I'm grouping the data here. This is my data frame, and I'm grouping the data of fruit id grouping, and I'm counting the data based on fruit id. So what I will get, so for or each fruit id, what is the count we will get here. So this one here, we are doing the count, and we are storing this data in this variable. So after that we are calling the group count df dot show. This variable is itself a data frame. So on variable data frame group count df data frame, I'm calling an action called show. So here how count is behaving, like it's like a transformation. So how here, so it is based on grouping of the data, it is counting in. Let me check in this one. So here, so when we are calling df dot count, it is checking on entire data set level. But here in the data count with group by one, so it is checking based on the group ones. So based on the groups, it is counting for the fruit ID. So we are grouping based on fruit ID, right? We have two distinct fruit IDs. So for fruit ID one, we have a count of two. So let me check here, verify this fruit ID one. The fruit ID one, two. Two counts will be there, orange and apple. With fruit ID two, banana and grapes. Two will be there. So it is showing the data. So when we are using with group by, count is behaving like a transformation. And when we are using without a group by, so it is acting as a action. So this behavior, unique behavior, is very useful in Spark. So we have a, after transforming the data, so even though after transforming the data also we have a large amount of data, then this count transformation will applied, and parallel processing concept, distributed parallel processing concept is useful here. So it will collect the data when we are calling show action. It is not collecting the data, executing the code itself in when we are calling df.group by a fruit id dot code, because here it is a transformation. Until we call an action, no, nothing will be executed. So when I'm calling this action only, it will trigger everything, and it is doing computation. So like this, count is behaving differently in different cases. We need to observe these kind of things. uh, so count is action, and count is transformation. It acting as both action and transformation. We need to observe these things. And we can also check other things. Is any other thing, other things is both behaving as a transformation actions? Please comment below. If please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone.